Hello everybody and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 15, Week 7. Today, we're taking a look at the Monkey Kings of New York, taking on the Leftside Lunchboxes. Of course, the Leftside Lunchboxes are a little different than usual, as two of their members are being stood in for today. Monkey Kings of New York looking exactly the same, finishing up this Week 7 series here. Starting out with that Dawnbreaker ban, it means a lot less when Looter isn't here, though, it feels like. I don't know, we've seen the Matty Dawnbreaker didn't work. Tallball's Dawnbreaker can work okay, but he hasn't run it this season, so. And the JBay Dawnbreaker, I don't remember seeing that. I think I have seen it, and it inspired memories that made me put it away. The Razor Ban and the Rubik Ban are definitely good bans there, the Leftside Lunchboxes part. Well scouted. Two heroes that I feel like are kind of core parts of a lot of their strategies. And two heroes that are obviously come from MKNY.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Witch Doctor.
Picking up the Witch Doctor here. Stealing it from Peaches. And, a likely Matty Boy. You know, that might be our tall balls, but it's a likely Matty Boy pick.
10 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
I didn't even notice this. MKNY has like a really proper banner now. Looks like an actual team banner a little bit. Windrunner on MKNY. It's a very early Windrunner pick, I gotta say. I mean, they did ban out the Centaur. That is one of the better answers to it, but there are interesting things in the pool left, like Pit Lord, that really make this pick hurt.
5 seconds remaining.
A lot of pause 3 is actually very bad for Windrunner. Your Pit Lord is obviously pretty brutal. Centaur's buddy's gone. Viper doesn't care about Windrunner. If he doesn't have to lane against her, he probably won't. Can get rid of her pretty easily. Mars can be bad if you want to pick that and reduce your chance of winning by 20%. Tram Protector going to come up here. A little bit after Tree's heyday. The patch has already landed when this game takes place, but you know, there is that. I believe the patch has already landed. Yeah, it has to, because the replay would be really broken in these Week 7 games otherwise. And speaking of people who were all over the patch before this, we got Lena on Leftside Lunchboxes. I gotta tells ya, not a fan. Tree Protector likely going to be doing the funny meter hammer build. That is not what Lena likes to experience. Windrunner versus Lena matchup is very Lena favored for a very short amount of time. The duration in which Lena ult is more or less a one-hit kill on Windrunner, it's really, really, really bad for Windrunner. At every other portion of the game, and when that skill is on cooldown, it is heavily Windrunner favored. The Windrunner ability to kill Lena in a very small amount of time is never going to run out. That's going to be the case from bell to bell. You have the Witch Doctor there, that is going to complicate things. But overall, yeah, not liking Lena in the scheme of things here. And Lena is not quite so strong anymore as to be unanswerable here.
10 seconds remaining.
Speaking of yesterday's news, down goes Leshrek as well. There goes Chaos Knight. Man, some really interesting bands coming out here. Skywrath, Mage, Bristleback. This is comfort banning on a new extreme.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
It's going to be interesting to see the Lunchboxes, you know, the Windrunner there is definitely counterable. You still just have to actually do it, though. Ricky going to be knocked out here. They don't want to subject the world to another BlueJay Ricky game.
Radiant team pick.
Ursa goes down in response. No funny bears.
Dire team pick.
Tide Hunter.
Gonna get a Tidehunter here. You know who has been almost unpicked in this tournament. We have not seen a lot of Tide. We've seen a little bit today. I think the only other Tide game I can even remember from this season so far is the cupless Tide Hunter game.
10 seconds remaining.
That didn't go well for him.
Remaining.
Maybe this one goes a little bit better.
Dire team pick.
Facts.
Axe attacks. Like Axe into Windrunner. It's a pretty good pick. I mean, obviously she's not going to focus fire you because she wasn't born yesterday. But Axe against Windrunner is a pretty good answer. Axe can be pretty nasty against the tree and the Tide Hunter if he's able to catch them out in time, but he's not of any value if he doesn't. We'll say the Tide and Treant, very redundant pick. Again, just kind of extends what you already get rather than doing anything new or better. It doesn't add to their strengths in any way. It's just kind of two guys who do very similar things. And your biggest upside, I guess, is, you know, if you blow one ult, you still have the other. Spirit Breaker coming out on top of it. Haven't seen a lot of positive results of Spirit Breaker so far. Most of the games where we've seen Spirit Breaker have been kind of, man, this hero looks weak. But then most of the games where we've seen Spirit Breaker has been in a core role, or been on Matty Boy playing it. Which is, you know, obviously support this season. Spectre coming up here. That's really interesting. They have no core that like does anything to Axe. That's not good. You really want to play Spectre against a BKB piercing call? You positive? Are you sure? You sure, BlueJay? I know she's good. You're thinking about that Lina. But boy, you're kind of spreading wide for Axe here a little bit.
5 seconds remaining.
It's gonna be a support Windrunner, perhaps. That might change things, I guess. I mean, either that, or they're gonna be picking up the Dark Ace hero last, which be a little interesting. Definitely not a huge fan of the support Windrunner ever. I mean, better than a core Windrunner this game. This is looking like a very Windrunner doesn't have a game type game so far, with the Axe and the Spirit Breaker on the board. The Witch Doctor, not great for her either. Monkey Kings of New York doesn't really know what the hell they're banning out right now, inexplicably. Going for Viper and for the PA here. Trying to figure out where exactly Lena is going to be heading.
10 seconds remaining.
Leftside Lunchboxes banning out Tinker, who is just a mid, and Pudge, who is really fat, and pretty much is just whoever's good at Pudge plays Pudge in this patch. And nobody else should. I need a cheeseburger. Leftside Lunchboxes taking a little time to think up what they're going for here. Answer is Slark. It's a mid Lena. Slark can be interesting on this team. I mean, a well-timed Slark purge can get rid of a lot against this lineup. Somebody Tide Hunter doesn't really like to see. You can get rid of his stupid pounce, I think, but you can't really get rid of the Agi stacks. Not that great for anybody on their lineup, though. You do have a good opportunity for the Monkey Kings of New York to answer it here, which we're going to see in 8x speed as they slowly drain down their time here. Luckily, in replay vision, we don't have to wait 2.5 minutes to know it's going to be PPM Invoker. And yeah, it is a support Windrunner. Support Windrunner, just to be frank, not great. I mean, it's not like you're going up against a 5-star support lineup with the Witch Doctor and the Spirit Breaker anyway, so it's not as bad as it could have been. But it's kind of a struggle to see what the hell that she's going to do this game, especially considering that she's going to be up against a Slark and I assume Spirit Breaker. They might be still doing the weird Matty 4 Tall Balls 5 thing, in which case it'll be Slark Witch Doctor, in which case Dark Ace will be doing nothing at all this game, basically. Yeah, that Spectre Tree lane should have been a much scarier lane, like 2 days before this game happened. I guess 6 days before this game happened. You know how it goes. Can say this much very confidently. No matter how the rest of this shakes out, old You're Bad here is gonna have a little bit of fun on this axe. He's part of the Gaff team too, so. I like everybody on MKNY rocking the NY tag, except for PPM, who is part of Team Shu.
Did I hear a squeak? Put a cork in it. My
Listen to a squeak here, according to Invoker. If you hear a squeak, clean out your ears.
I don't think so.
Oh, that's very nice.
Hollywood is currently watching this game, as his game took place on a different day. It was supposed to be the game before this, or the day before this game took place. It ended up being the day after this game took place. Funny how that all works out.
30 seconds to battle.
We did that live, and it will be uploaded by the time you see this on YouTube, and it was already on Twitch. And it was on the replay. Just brief advertisement here, I guess. Brief PSA, maybe, more the way to go about it. If you like me and you hate my camera work, or if you hate waiting for me to upload replays, I always do the live games as actual proper casts using the in-game casting function, which means that if you watch the replay of a game, you will be able to access my commentary. And sometimes I say dumb crap on that you can't hear in the actual games that you see on YouTube or whatever. Of course, it's not going to apply to these, but you know how it goes. And somebody needed to turn it off. We're no longer off-turning. Now, it's time for the very best part of this show. A part that I didn't do in the series series I recorded earlier today. It's time for the roll call for the Monkey Kings of New York. Pause 1, captain of the team on the Spectre. Tweet, it's BlueJay. Pause 2. On the Invoker, you've got PPM, also known as Peter, on the Invoker. Pause 3, you've got Kenny Lavender on the Tidehunter. That's one plug ugly Tidehunter set. Pause 4, you've got Dark Ace, who's sponsored by Gigabad on the Windrunner. And pause 5, you've got Peaches on the Treant Protector. On the other side of the coin, on the left side Lunchboxes, pause 1 standing in for Lone Wolf. You have Slark being played by Vatrix, and he's on Team Bloodseeker. Pause 2, you've got temporary stand-in captain of the team. He's not standing in, he's just the captain, while the actual one is out. You've got JBay playing the Lena. Pause 3, you've got You're Bad on the axe. Will not, unfortunately, be listing at his sponsor on the air. Pause 4, we've gone back to the original lineup. We've got Matty Boy, sponsored by all of Dota 2, quite an impressive sponsor on the Spirit Breaker. And pause 5, we've got Tall Balls, sponsored by Frat Boys on the Witch Doctor, who might be getting himself. Nope, never mind. Cancel that kill. Slark does not have Q yet. Who's going to force Under start dipping into those consumables, which, considering consumables is all she has, not what she wants to be doing, probably. At least not to this degree. No, we have, because Maddie's usually the 5, and we got Tall Balls on 5 today, so it is weird. I was just looking at it backwards. MKNY Lavender, not long for this world. Yep, he's about to pop. Pop he goes. Tall Balls, First Blood on MKNY Lavender here. You know, back in Season 12, Tall Balls was used to being First Blood, so I'm glad he's finally being able to turn that around. God, already got that Bassy coming out. Holy crap, what a Spirit Breaker build. This is the I want to right-click you and I don't care what else happens Spirit Breaker build. Gotta say, I definitely feel like this team's better off if these two heroes are switched. I mean, they might not necessarily get that First Blood, but I'm not a huge fan of this Axe and Spirit Breaker offlane. This is really just not going to help Axe at all. I guess at the very least Axe can sort of custode the lane, just sit here alone while Spirit Breaker just roams and just kills people elsewhere, but I mean, is that going to happen? It's not easy to gank that Invoker as a pause 4, I can tell you that much. And you're certainly not going to be crossing up here to top. Not like a Spirit Breaker does anything to these guys anyway in a ganking capacity. I don't know.
You look ravaged.
Not a fan. Not a fan. You look ravaged. It's not a very nice thing to say about me, Tidehunter, I must say. It may be true, but you shouldn't say it. It's been a little slow since that First Blood. Lena, as you would probably expect, I think, up ahead on the Invoker here, but not by terribly much. Is number 1 in the game for last hits. It's followed closely by the Spectre and the Tidehunter, though. For the most part, all core, like, she has 4 last hits above last place, you know, it's that kind of game so far. They're going deep, deep, deep here, trying to get peaches, but actual dagger's enough to get Matty Boy to reconsider his life. BlueJay just gonna get right-clicked here by the Spirit Breaker. This is why we need that support sniper meme to start being a thing. We need the most annoying guy to just sit in the lane and right-click the pause one that we can find. Axe wants to cut down a little tree here. It's quite likely to get it. I think Patriots is doomed and is certainly dead now. It's a good cast, good Maledict. Well, it's unlikely to get any kills. It's equally as unlikely that these two will be able to do anything until it resolves, so Slark's just going to have, you know, 10-15 seconds of just complete power play. While they eat the debuff and scramble back into the lane. Ooh, that actually did land on Windrunner, I think. I'm not sure she lives this. 18 health, wow, that is super close. Zeus ult now, indeed. This is a very unfortunate lane for Windrunner. She's gonna walk out of this game in miserable poverty, just having to constantly swing through loads of consumables like this. Invoker got a Meteor Hammer, my god. Can we patch this out of the game yet, please? Like, can we do a hot fix that makes Meteor Hammer do no damage and just the meteor squeaks, so people stop doing this?
I'll take that.
This is how Ice Frog feels about Mars. It's like, just watching this exist offends me. I don't even think it's that good. I just hate to see it happen. So again, like Ice Frog and Mars, he has a 45% win rate at TI. Nerf him. Spirit Breaker. Just doing more trades down here. This lane has gotten progressively worse for old Spectre here. Started out at the top of the net worth charts, but at this point, has seen her support die, has fallen below Axe in the last hit measures. I would imagine if you look at the net worth chart, yeah, it's trailing for what is at this point in the game pretty decent amount. It's even most of a level down. Though Axe is not really interested in, neither Axe nor Spirit Breaker, particularly interested in extending this lead. They just kind of want to cut creeps and just farm. So you're not going to be doing much to inhibit the Spectre at this point, I suppose. You know, I mean, I guess if you want Spectre to just eat a lane for free, then go ahead. I won't stop you, if that's what you really want to do with your life. Tidehunter going right for Grease. I mean, he is hammering right towards it. Hasn't read the patch notes, I guess.
I don't think so.
It's gonna be good. Matty Boy is charging this this Windrunner for some reason. It is not going to be subtle, especially when he just randomly passes Invoker here. Yep, just gets called out. He is still going. It's insane. This is a really good Cask, though. Cask is going to get the job done for the most part. Yep. Windrunner has gone down, and unfortunately for Tidehunter, he has to blow his first ult to not randomly die here. He's going to catch Matty Boy on the side of it. Tallswell is actually just going to die to the tower. Ouch. So what looked like that was going to be a bit of a waste of an ult on Kenny Lavender's part, but actually kind of got himself a double kill and kept him alive. So there you go, NVM. Everything worked out in the end. Treant Protector is going to take this opportunity to come by and say hello to the Invoker. Lena is not home to answer their complaints, so. Got a little bit of a scuffle going on here in the jungle. We got a nothing Cask. That's okay. Matty Boy coming from the back on the wrong target. That's okay. Meteor Hammer coming down on this tower some more. Got a very interesting stun versus stun matchup there. As both sides just kind of awkwardly stop each other from doing anything more in that situation, and then they just mutually agree to break it all off. And JBay is going to deny his T1.
Dire's middle tower has been denied.
All that meteor hammering, and he didn't even get blasted on the tower. Truly, we live in a cursed era. Matty Boy definitely wants to get something done here, but Tallballs is so far away from him. All he's doing is just standing here looking threatening in this lane, which, I mean, I guess that's all he really needs to do. Axe still just kind of going behind the lines, just doing a lot of farming. Not inhibiting Spectre, really, at all. If you look at the net worth chart, he's pulling ahead, but Spectre is second place, so not the most ideal situation to be. I guess this is a better Axe game than a Spectre game, feasibly, so there's that. You know, if Axe starts pulling out way ahead of Spectre, it is very hard for her to operate without just randomly dying, so there's that. And speaking of randomly dying, he wants to make PPM randomly die. And random death is what he gets. Cuts right in half for the first Culling Blade, rather. Which is good. There's only one target that you could have that you would probably rather have for your first Culling Blade. Treant Protector staying very close to this. Might regret that action soon. We're doing a good job staying out of the sight line here. Matty Boy not charging on this for some reason.
Invisibility.
We are having people come in from other lanes now. We have rotations to try to keep mid T1 here going. Spirit Breaker has no bulldoze. Windrunner has no continued life. EMP here is probably going to put an end to this campaign. There's one thing Axe can't do, it's much without mana. Maybe he can shovel and pray to God for a mango, but that's the best he's getting. He's not even going to do that. BlueJay still just very casually right-clicking the creeps in this lane. He does have himself his now customary blade mail. See, he's not going directly for the Axe. He's buying a combat item before that because he knows that any 1v1 he takes without could be kind of a disaster.
I'll dig that.
Witch Doctor takes the bounty just specifically so JBay doesn't get to get some bottle charges. Axe's courier dies specifically just to make him mad, I guess. There's an interesting little scenario here. We'd have the Spearbreaker ult, and this is a baller Witch Doctor ult. Gonna have a very hard problem actually getting rid of this. The Tide Hunter ult does come out. A full wand charge on Invoker's part is actually going to let it be okay. Axe is missing though, as has been said. He did not get a mango off of that shovel. Actually, it's still kind of a bad spot because that EMP, he still hasn't recovered from that EMP. His actual mana regen is very, very, very bad. So one thing I've talked about with the heroes like this, if you want to do an interesting way to help with mana in this kind of game that isn't card out clarities all the time, right? You can use the Null Talisman as an option. It might not be a bad idea against an Invoker specifically, right? Because if you're a pos 3, you're going to have the issue Axe is having right now. None of Axe's skills are mana intensive. You know, the Berserker's Call is about as bad as it gets at 110 mana, right? But your pool is tiny, your regen is not much better. Getting yourself that Null Talisman that has that percentile max mana increase that, you know, also keeps going with your level. And gives you a flat amount of mana regen, which is actually more than you would get from most items with this kind of impool. Does actually very considerably help your ability to campaign here. Would you want it this game? Would you want it on Axe in general? You probably wouldn't want to do it necessarily. It could actually go a long way in helping make sure you're not having like that 2 or 3 minute period of dead air that Axe is kind of having there. And it will also help you make sure that you don't try to Culling Blade Tide Hunter like half health for some reason. But that's neither here nor there. Still kind of working on this T1 top. It's a bit interesting. JBay teleporting on the creep rather than the tower specifically for the purpose of showing that he has boots of travel. And the stupid Meteor Hammer is going to get the kill on this tower. As PPM just casually pulls out. Flark cut himself his 16-minute Midas. Bit interesting. You know, I would think as Slark you would want to get it before you got your treads, but not if you're Vatrax. Somewhere out there in LD2L land, Lambert is saying, I could have got that faster. Tall Balls has not read the Witch Doctor patch notes yet in like 2 patches. Everybody kind of lining up here. Looking at old Kenneth Lavender. Gonna be taking some heat here. He's gonna try an ult. Slark actually dispels the first ult, so they also have to bring in the Treon ult. But it quickly turns into a 3v5, and things go all wrong. Right now, these guys, principal fighter is Axe. Slark is not even like on the same universe as either of these other guys. He's sitting 2k behind the next lowest core. And a big part of that money is tied up in a Midas, which at this juncture it is seeming like he maybe probably shouldn't have gone for. So him going out like this right now, he is great value Slark. Maybe not the time. Shoutouts to the train. Let's hear that honk. That's what they pay me the big bucks for.
Regeneration.
Hack's still prowling around over here. He just randomly jumped into that camp and hit Q at his first opportunity. That would have been the sickest kill of his life. Or rather, it would have been the sickest 30% of Spectre's damage, and then the living armor comes out and just covers all of it up. But you know how it goes anyway. Now Axe is just sitting in a ton of pain. He's got very close to this tower, but Windrunner had to stop hitting him. Ooh, why the Tidehunter got the Lina ult? That's interesting. Start coming in from the sides here, actually throwing out his spells from the river. Very good play on Tall Balls' part. And the Monkey Kings are the ones that are losing cores here. Axe is still too low mana to actually call, so Pages is going to get away. Up your clarities, homie. That's what you bought him for. Come on, buddy. Man does not want to do it. I do like You're Bad versus Giga Bad, though. Good dichotomy. Man, that was an interesting little chase. It was like Spearbreaker in this lineup against this game. In this lineup that he's against this game, let's try that again. Okay, why on Tide? These guys on Leftside Lunchboxes are getting really distracted by the Kitty Lavender Tidehunter here. They're doing exactly what a pause 3 like him wants, which is like every time they seem to have a choice of who they go for, they try to drop it on him. What do we get as a result? We get BlueJay moving into first place overall on the net worth charts. I'm going to pick up his Ags, which is about halfway done once this ancient camp is gone. Well, once these... Oh no, that camp's not here. So, not quite halfway done, but it's pretty close to half. Brigand's Blade on Slark at least. I mean, not on Slark because he doesn't have it, but Brigand, nope, never mind. Wow, this is the saddest Brigand's Blade game I've ever seen. Spirit Breaker punching creep action. Iron Branch on the floor action. Maybe they think a new tower is going to sprout from that. Maybe PPM is just going to walk up to this tower, drop Meteor Hammer on it again. Man is really going full cancer here. It's not just that he's going all in on the Meteor Hammer. He's getting BKB so he doesn't get interrupted during his Meteor Hammering. Pages is going to play the good support. Just use the ult to save the Invoker's life. Invoker is not going far though. Matty Boy is going to eat a very casual hammer. Axe is going to miss his call. He's just too slow. Which I'm sure for him is a big shame because I'm pretty confident if PPM gets called there, he's just dead. That was his 9-second BKB though, used for very, very little effect. So there is that. And T1 top is just going to get annihilated.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Despite Peter's antics, the Monkey Kings of New York are actually only up one tower right now. It's kind of funny because they have this guy meter hammering towers every opportunity against, and you have the Treant healing towers, but it feels like every time the Lina gets close to a tower, it just goes from 100 to 0. It's getting counterbalanced out quite handily by one pick on the enemy team. That one pick has beaten 2 of MKNY's. Invoker is going to parlay his no effective combat items into a Scythe of Vice somehow. I would love to see how he gets that done. He's going to kind of just walk into Slark here on this wave. And he's going to drop Meteor Hammer on a tower that is going to get backdoor protection. Yep. Ultimately, not get terribly much done. This Windrunner shard here really had a very profound mental impact on the Lunchboxes there. Even though if Axe just blinks in and hits Q Invoker once again, probably just dead, he doesn't want to because he doesn't want to do that into the Windrunner shard. It's probably not realistically all that bad to let that happen, but to fight into it. But it doesn't matter if it's not realistically that bad if your bad thinks it is. Axe denies a creep and blinks immediately. All balls. It's in a bit of a fix here. He dropped a few things on his head to try and get rid of him. Not so much luck. Slark has just pulled out himself a BKB here. He is going to naturally just slowly catch up on the rest of this game just because of that Midas. Nobody else has one, and nobody on the enemy team is on that great of farming heroes. For the most part, anyway. We'll pretend we didn't just see that that Spirit Breaker illusion get shackled, right? That's what we'll do. Spectral. For no reason, really. Just wanted to see where the enemies were. I guess maybe making sure there's not a funny Roche attempt happening. Not like this team could do it that well at this point. Lena has just finished her Silver Edge, so just one more thing that she can use to harass poor Kenny Lavender, who's done nothing wrong but is attracting so much heat this game. I mean, either that or it's for the Spectre passes, but let's just say it's for Kenny Lavender because that's funnier. Lunchboxes are smoked. They got Peter. They got Peter in a pretty bad way. Ooh, but the ult coming out there, perfect timing. Nobody can actually really stand up to that Tide ult, and as a result, just goes all kinds of wrong for this lineup. Slark gets away, he's the only survivor. It's a little unfortunate we did not see the Slark Q come out at the right time in that fight. I think if he dispels the ult, he just kills Invoker, and that fight goes very differently. XD.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's
Dire mid
middle tower
T2.
has
Gonna take a quick fall here. MKNY quickly retreating to the Roche pit. Does not seem like the Lunchboxes have any real clue this is happening. So this is likely going to be a very quick and painless Roche. Here comes the... Oh? Oh? That's what everyone on Lunchboxes just said.
We'll turn this tide to our advantage.
At the moment, it's a pretty slim one, just a 1k margin. You know, with the Slark, the, oh no, it's off cooldown. Here comes the Vatrix Flame.
Invisibility.
Come on, Vatrix. Come on, Vatrix. There we go. Oh my god. Oh my god. Gonna uninstall after this series. Aggressive de-warding by both members of the Lunchboxes support line. Who's doing casts at 5 a.m. just to make sure you get some up this league? Not me.
You look ravaged.
Quick, everybody use all your sound clips. It's very awkward Aegis. Because on one hand, nobody on Lunchbox is going to want to do anything while this Aegis is up. But on the other hand, the...
Dire's top tower is under
They're
attack.
not really going to be able to get anything done with it. And they're going to be able to squash Matty Boy, but I promise he can do that without an Aegis.
You're not going anywhere.
Not going to be able to do anything with that Aegis. It's one of those farming Aegises, as they say. This is good they... well, no, the other team has the guy doing the farm reports. It's very awkward, actually. One more time does not help them here. No, more time is going to give Tall Balls an opportunity to get completely hammered by all 5 members of the enemy team. He's going to waste as much time as he can before he goes down. Make it very obvious to the cores on his team that the enemy lineup is not particularly close to them. And they're going to just go to town on just all 3 camps, all 3 on camps rather, on the core lineup. Max got, man, this is just, Shard, Blink Dagger, Meter Hammer. I'm dying on the inside. I'm dying on the inside. On the inside, that's where I'm dying. You know, looking out here.
Dire's
Let's
bottom
get a little bit
tower
done.
is under attack.
Double damage.
Lena DD.
What sort of
A little unlikely to get much done with it. She's walking on the real Spectre. We're gonna get charged here. Though that untimely ult did make it very obvious Lena was invisible somewhere close by. And so as a result, this is getting turned around very quickly. Spirit Breaker still in the firing line here. Not quite get out far enough, to say the least. Though the Meteor Hammer is going to miss. And so nothing is going to happen here. Well, they're going to bait an Axe TP. So something's going to happen here. Axe is going to TP, and then he's going to do the camps that aren't alive around here. So, yeah, there you go. Axe TP baited. That's all that happened here. Kenneth Lavender with his swanky Guardian Greaves. Pushing up this bot lane. Has his Zags already. Gonna get a Shiva's and get a Blink Dagger. Shiva's pretty good against the Slark. Not really anything that guy can do about that in particular. Lena probably wishes she hit that BKB a little earlier at this point. That was the I believe that was the 7 for Lena. Used to accomplish really nothing against Fortide owner here,
Radiant's top tower is
who
under
revealed his own shard. I believe that was also the Shadow Step reveal, but I could be wrong. A lot of new information for the Lunchboxes, nothing else based on that. Despite everything else, this game is still within 1k of an advantage for MKNY. Slark got himself a little bit of a haste rune going on. Looking for something to do over here, but nobody's home. Well, I mean, Spectre's home, but Slark doesn't know that. He's not going to look at the correct camp. Why would he do something like that?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Casually farm away here. Despite the minus, Slark's rate of progression on this chart is actually not really great, unfortunately for him. Even having had it since 15 minutes, it's 30 minutes now, he's had it for half the game, and he is still second to last place in the core lineup, and he's not really terribly close to third. He's still 2k down from third to last. In other words, he's 2k down from fourth place. Which, in fairness, is not that far. You know, there's 2k between that and the next set of guys, but 4k down from the pause one on the other team, who does not have the little golden glove, and who has been pretty much equally as active in actually fighting as Slark has been. I guess that's what happens when every time there's a dull moment, every core on his team immediately jumps into the jungle and starts hitting creep. You know how it goes. Max, regretting his life a little bit there. The support line going to come in after him to just die and accomplish nothing. I believe he might have also just dropped a gem or something there. Could not see. Let's take another shot. Oh, look at that shot. No, that was just him getting pinged, I think. Oh, easy way to check. I don't see any Eye of Gem of True Sight here, do you? I don't. See rainbow TPs on Lena. Ooh, that's a good use of the Spectre ult. Goodbye, Lena. Is that tip really fair? I mean, that wasn't his fault. He did what you were supposed to do, it just didn't work. I mean, I guess you gotta tip where you can tip him, right? Spectre is basically 6-slotted at this point. She's got a Wraith Band to replace, perhaps Power Tread, Zag's Blessing if she wants, but that's about it. Spectre's pretty big here. Of course, the Spectre being huge doesn't mean that much when Axe is still on the board. He's going... Huh? 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 That's interesting. You know, I gotta say, this is already an Axe build I don't think I would be using usually, but the Axe really puts the icing on the what are you doing cake.
How I wish I had this back at Dark Reef.
Slark really wishes he had that back at Dark Reef, but unfortunately, okay, he's just gonna walk behind T3s even though the other team's actually leaving. Got a pretty bad vision deficit, so I don't really know that. Terrible. I mean, on one hand, it's not terribly surviving because you're going up against some supports with solid credentials in this league, and one of them is a Treant. On the other hand, you do have Slark, so it's a good tree ult. You're just gonna get Lena killed in like 1 second flat. That didn't look good. We're gonna do switcheroo. Gonna try to get something done here. Can I just say that this is starting to go as bad as it is because Axe is memeing so hard? Is that mean to say? Is it mean to say that buying a Meteor Hammer and literally not using it a single time in the game so far has probably not been to Axe's advantage? There we go, he used it right when I said it, and what a great utility that it had for him here. JBay statue describing Meteor Hammer in the next batch. Only a month away. You know, one of the things I said about this patch is, in a way it did disappoint me. I figured if you knew you're going to have another patch in April, this will be the time to have some crazy kills on Invoker. Just randomly going to get picked out here. Spectre in kind of a bad way too. He comes to the Meteor Hammers. It's going to actually contribute to a kill. Yes, it is. Unfortunately, Witch Doctor takes the godlike, but yeah, you know, you take what you can get at this point. Okay, so the Monkey Kings of New York have not gotten the script. You're supposed to get megas and then all die, not get one lane of racks and then all die.
Fight me.
But at least Peter can say fight me.
Put a cork.
And they can do Roche. Actually, literally came up the moment somebody pinged. What an incredibly well-timed ping that was. Now you are fish food. Now Roche is fish food. They're gonna get a free shard for
Radiant's middle tower is under
one of these two. You can get it on Lena for the funny cast ability here. Get it not on the Witch Doctor, he has it. Could get it on the Spirit Breaker for that really weird ability.
Turn this time to our advantage.
And they are. They want to get the really weird eat a spell ability. I know that's going to work well for them this game, and there are very, very few spells that I think are going to interact with it, but you know how it goes.
Invisibility.
Now everything slows down to a crawl again. One of the things I was a little bit disappointed is, if you know you're going to have a patch next month anyway, right? 1 month. Surely this will be the time to try some crazy, radical, insane changes to the Dota formula. Because, you know, if it sucks, if it's something stupid, if it's like the passive phase boots, well, you're patching the game in 1 month anyway, right? It's not going to affect the game too long. I didn't really do that, though, for the most part. It's a bit of a disappointing scenario. I'm actually getting quite close to this this Ags here, which is, you know, it's going to be interesting. It's gonna give that the Berserker Call battle hunger. It's going to get the armor thing. Really not going to mean that much this game. Axe Call's nothing. It's not true. Axe called a Spectre Illusion, I guess. Here comes another one. If Axe liked that first Spectre Illusion, he's going to love this one. Actually almost got Spectre with the Meteor Hammer strike there. Pretty good title. All the cores get caught in it, and they're all in very awkward spots, especially the follow-up Winter roll. But it's a very weird and long team fight. Axe is going to go down. The Aegis is going to go down to Lena. Axe is going to buy. Lena gets immediately abyssal the second she comes up. And then she dies.
More for your money.
That ain't looking good. Axe is not Axe, and Axe is diebacked. Axe's dieback is about as long as Lena's entire respawn time. We're gonna call the G's. We're gonna get out of here.
Radiant victory.
Oof. I always hate to be in the situation where I'm like, you know, one of these teams just kind of threw, because it really kind of takes away from the other team. You know, I wouldn't want to be in a situation because I'd be like, well, what about me? What did I do? Did what I did mean nothing? It's not what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is I feel like the chances that MKNY wins this game drastically go down if Axe doesn't build a Meteor Hammer and then proceed to basically not use it at all in the entire game. That's how much money is that wasted down the drain? 2,300 gold. 2,300 gold. And I mean, hey, Axe likes those stats. Health mana regen, that's two great things for him. I was talking at the start of the game about the constant mana crises that Axe is having, in no small part thanks to the Invoker. So, you know, you get the Meteor Hammer, and now you solved that issue. For 2,300 gold. And it does nothing else for you. it's never going to get any better. You can't, like, just casually sell it, and you certainly can't use the active. I don't know. I don't know. Not a fan of that one. Not a fan of that choice. For how much Axe, like, kind of wanted to have in this game, for how much things could have kind of gone badly for him here. And they did, frankly. I don't know. I don't know if this is a play. And the Slark just felt like zero impact Slark in this game. You know, it took him until like the very end of the whole lobby for him to finally hit first place on his team, and when he did, it didn't feel like it. It felt like a one-man show centered around Axe. Poor Lena was just getting wiped out before she could do anything in this matchup. I don't know. I don't know. But I really dig the very minimalist Treant inventory. Even has the Basilius backpack for some reason. With that, we'll see you next time for Game 2.